Beep, beep. Come on, little rascal. Good morning. It's Tuesday. Just made myself a lovely breakfast. Someone just arrived this morning to look at our guttering, so we've got a bit of an issue. But yeah, I've made myself my breakfast. I've got ready for the day. Got myself a coffee, my new water bottle, which is just very motivating, you wouldn't think, but getting yourself a new water bottle for the new year. My other one broke, so got our new water bottle, new planner, new nails. I want to motivate you today because it's the new year and I thought I'd just film like a cozy little reset motivational video about what I'm doing to feel good in the new year. I know there's so much noise at the minute and it's annoying, to be honest. I go on Instagram and I'm really like not enjoying it because of the amount of like workouts people are trying to push, sort of the things that people are trying to do for the new year related to food. I just find a lot of it a little bit triggering, a little bit like, oh, I don't want to hear it. So hopefully today's video is going to be the opposite of that, and it's going to be positive and nice for you because I don't do any of those things anymore. I don't do extremes or blanket changes or that kind of thing. I like to focus on intentions and positive things that can move on from the year before and the lessons that I've learnt. And you'll notice that this morning I actually woke up a bit late today, which in the past, I was saying to Alex this morning, would have really upset me. And that's something that we're leaving behind, is this all or nothing perfectionist attitude. So if you're with me, let me know, because past me would have been so upset that by the second week of January, I wasn't already waking up at 6 AM again, but it's just not reality. And if you're enjoying yourself over Christmas and staying up late, chances are that you're going to struggle to then get up early during January. It's just inevitable. So I'm just trying my best, and my best is all I can do. So I woke up a little bit late, didn't let it upset me, still continued my normal routine, made myself a cup of tea, got back into bed, and then started reading. So I'm trying to read a lot more in 2023. I have set myself the goal of reading 52 books. We'll see if that happens. It is like the second week of January and I'm still only a quarter or third of the way through my first book, but I'm planning on a few holidays, so hopefully in those holidays I can catch up some of the books, and it is a big one. That is actually a huge change that I did start last year, was I'm no longer waking up and going straight to the gym in the morning, and I think I mentioned this to you because it's nicer to wake up, for me anyway, at this moment in my life, to wake up and feel relaxed first thing, and then fit, working out, exercise and moving my body at a different time in the day. Because I don't like waking up and feeling like, oh, I don't want to hear it. So hopefully in those holidays I can catch up some of the books, and it is a big one. That is actually a huge change that I did start last year, was I'm no longer waking up and going straight to the gym in the morning, and I think I mentioned this to you because it's nicer to wake up and feel relaxed first thing, and then fit, working out, exercise and moving my body at a different time in the day. And everyone's different, and I feel like you should keep that in mind if you're setting yourself intentions. What's your like instinct telling you, and what is your gut telling you that you're craving? And right now my gut is telling me I'm craving downtime, slow starts to the day, relaxing, and it's really paying off, and it's making me feel really good and really happy, and it's really tempering my anxiety and all those things. So I'm really enjoying waking up and reading a book and writing down in my journal and all those sorts of positive things. But I do have a yoga class at 10:30 today, which I started doing last year, and it was really, really enjoyable. It's one of my favourite things to do. It's such a nice class to go to. It's very relaxing, and that's something that I'm trying to do more, is do more yoga, Pilates and classes, social exercising, because I spent a lot of time going to the gym by myself and I'm craving something different. I actually saw a post the other day on Instagram, which if I can find it, I will. I don't think I'm going to be able to find it. No, I'm not. But essentially the long and short of it was that allow yourself to go through ebbs and flows and flow with the wave of what you're feeling and allow changes to happen. Don't get stuck in this rigid idea of I have to stick to what I said I wanted to do, even if you don't feel that way anymore. So maybe that's a change of opinion or a change of routine or a change of habit that you're craving. Like, lean into that, because life will change and your body and your mind will change as it happens. So I'm really trying to do that more and go with what I'm craving. Which leads me on to my word of the year, and that's something I've been doing for a few years now. And last year it was balance, and I really think I did achieve that. And this year it is intuition and instinct, whatever word I feel like that day, but they're the same thing. And it's basically listening to my instinct, listening to my intuition more, because I think that is at the root of a lot of my self-sabotaging bad habits. And this can happen with binge eating, emotional eating, staying up late, work-related stuff, relationships, everything. And I'm really, really trying to listen to my intuition more, because it's there and it's loud if you listen to it enough. Anyway, I'm gonna have my breakfast. I'll talk to you more about some of my intentions and goals and all these positive things to motivate you for the new year. I'm gonna look in my book to see what the plan is for today, and I'll show you a bit more in depth in this later. Yeah, I think that basically I've run out of time to do anything before the yoga today because I woke up late, like I said. So I did have a plan to do a bit of editing now before I started yoga, but that's okay, it doesn't really matter. I can just do it when I get back. But I'm gonna go to yoga. Alex and I are gonna go look at a shed to buy and then we're gonna nip to the supermarket.
Yeah.
And Alex is about to tell me what the guttering man said, so I'll see you in a little while.
Like my hairstyle.
Oh my gosh, he's put the hair clip.
Well, it's quite good.
So they said, generally what they would do is go up and say, if you're happy with us cutting it below the level. I was like, oh yeah, that's great.
I'm very sorry, Bobby, but you've got to stay here. We love you. We'll see you in a couple of hours.
It's a nice jacket. Where'd you get that?
Who else steals all of their partner's clothes? Because Alex got this jacket and...
You've worn it more than me.
No, I haven't. You wear it all the time. I love it so much. It's so cozy. From Finisterre. Who else has U2 on their phone and every time they get in the car it plays? I think that was from like iTunes, I don't know, like 2010 or something.
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
So long ago, and I haven't deleted it. I don't know why. I should do that. Oh well. Off to yoga. I'm so excited for this. Alex is coming with me. He doesn't normally come. He's not going to yoga. We're going to go look at sheds. So he's going to look at sheds whilst I'm in yoga, and then I'm going to go with him and we're going to hopefully buy one. Fingers crossed.
Starting to slow the breathing down. See if you can also start to feel a little bit of movement that might be taking place in your spine.
I'm so sleepy. Honestly, that yoga class feels the same as having a full body massage. I come out like my body is like tingling, like it's literally goosepimply tingling. There's something on my chin, or is that on the camera?
It's your goosebumps.
Lovely. Alex has gone to the shed place and we've got some things, options for the shed, which is good. And I just want to go to sleep now, but we need to go into the shop to buy some ingredients for tomorrow's video. I've been a little bit disorganised in that I forgot yesterday to write down what it was that we needed, so I'm going to do that quickly now. But yesterday was very productive and busy, so I think that's why I didn't do that. But I'm just going to quickly jot it down on my phone and then we'll go and get some bits. Food shop done. I might briefly show you when I get home, though it's not really like a weekly food shop at all, it's just for a recipe video. So I don't know how interesting that is particularly. I'm enjoying these. I forgot these existed. The salt and vinegar flavour mini rice and corn cakes. Because you can buy the big packets of like rice cakes, and I know that like lots of people think rice cakes are disgusting. Personally, they're actually like one of my favourite things, especially the flavoured ones. Because when it comes to crisps, my favourite crisps are the sort of airy ones. Like when I was younger, my favourite crisps were Wotsits and French fries, those kind of like fluffy crisps. And when I went vegan, there's less of them that you can have that are just like normal. And sometimes when I have too many crisps, like the normal crisps, I feel it makes me feel sick. I don't know why, maybe it's like the amount of oil in them. So I find that the airy kind of rice cakey things much nicer. And now they do these little miniature rice cakes in a salt and vinegar flavour, and I love salt and vinegar, it's my favourite flavour, so definitely check these out, it was so good. Hello! What have you got? Hi! Good girl. Let me show you what I got, just because maybe you're curious, even though this is for recipe videos. Those recipes we will still eat, and they're still like lovely, healthy, wholesome, vegan, plant-based recipes. So this is the rice cake thing I was talking about. Also, if you like Marmite, the Marmite rice cakes. I think I had a bit of a rice cake moment. I bought loads of different rice cakes. So I got the Marmite ones, the salt and vinegar ones, and then whole grain ones, so I can actually put like hummus or something on top of them. I mean, I know that lots of people think that rice cakes taste like cardboard. Fine, I get that, but I personally just really like them. Boring old dishwasher tablets from Ecova. Bin liners. The receipt. So the recipes we're making, we're doing a curry, we're doing a, oh my gosh, what are we doing? I'll get Alex to remind me, I've completely forgotten, but we're doing a curry, I know that much, and then there's something else that's gone from my brain. Sweet corn. These aren't for the recipes, these are just convenience food. Quinoa and Italian style grains for those days when I want something healthy, but I don't want to have to cook something from scratch. I've talked about these before. It's sort of like a healthy mindset versus a sustainable mindset. Sometimes you have to go with the convenience option. And Alex actually did mention to me that when you buy rice, so we've obviously got this bag of rice and this bag of quinoa, these bags can't be recycled, these ones here, but these can. So, you know, jury's out on which is better. Then we've got chickpeas. I bought these because I wanted some chickpeas potentially now. Let's see what I have for lunch. Sweet potato, this is for the quinoa. So we're doing a quinoa salad for a TikTok. We've got potatoes for the curry, because it's a potato spinach style curry for the video. It is a budget video. Onions, this is for both recipes. What was the other recipe? It was a curry, a quinoa salad, smoothie, and then what was the last one?
Fritters.
Fritters, that was it, courgette fritters with sweet corn. I've got silken tofu for a smoothie recipe, coriander seeds. And then in the fresh section, we've got spinach for the curry, lots of fresh herbs, parsley, coriander, mint, which is in the reduced section, and they had loads of cavolo nero in the reduced section, which is probably my favourite vegetable, and it's so unbelievably good for you. The darker the veg or fruit, the more goodness there is in there. I know that there's a specific word for this. If you are a nutritionist, let me know what it is, but I know that like dark berries and cruciferous vegetables like kale that are really dark, they have a certain ingredient in them that is really good for us. So it's a good vegetable to reach for based on colours, things. I'm assuming red onion, does that apply as well? Let me know. But lots of vegetables like that. So also if you're buying salad and there's a salad that has a mixture of dark leafy greens and purple colours, that's also really, really good for you. I listened to the Tim Spector podcast with The Diary of a CEO, which I can't really get my head around why that was a controversial podcast, because I saw lots of chat on social media about how it was controversial. And I think it's a little bit sad that we're in the day and age that somebody's saying that eating whole foods and avoiding processed foods is controversial. Like, I can't relate. And also I think the controversial things that he said that people were annoyed about was the fact that he said calorie counting doesn't work, which that is backed by science at this point. I've talked about it before, but I don't calorie count because there's so many studies that show people who calorie count or specifically try to lose weight in that way end up going back to the weight they were before or more, because human beings do adapt. So when you calorie count, your body is very clever. And I know that there's lots of people probably in the comments that will say that they've had success on it. And I know that it does have success to a degree, but I know that obviously the science and the physics of it works, calories in versus calories out. But I think his point, if you listen to the full podcast, the context of it, rather than like the sound clip, is that it goes beyond that. There's so many other things involved, like hormones, like life, stressors, motivations. People just aren't as cut and dry as that. And there's often reasons why that doesn't work in the long run for human beings. And I think his point was that it's better that we just focus on eating really good ingredients and focusing on what food we're eating versus calories. I think for our brains and for our bodies, that's healthier. And I follow that philosophy and always have done. And yeah, it's just funny that we're at a point that that's controversial. I think also maybe because he's talking about calories when it comes to people thinking, oh, it's okay, I can have like this burger or this processed food because it fits in my macros or it fits in my calories. But that in the long run is not great for our health, and we probably all know that. And I think also he mentioned something about exercise not really affecting our weight. And again, that's kind of controversial, but I think his point was that scientifically, our bodies, again, are very clever and they do adapt. So if you exercise more, your body rests more when it's in its downtime. And I know this from experience that if I exercise more, I'm much more tired and I do spend much more time lying about. And personally, food is the thing. Food and alcohol is the thing that makes me lose or gain weight over exercise. Exercise is just incredibly good for my mind, my body, and also motivation to like live a healthy lifestyle. Anyway, that was a little tangent, but go listen to that podcast if you're into health and wellness, because I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I personally just liked listening to someone who to me felt like they were just talking sense. They were just kind of breaking through a lot of what I see online, like sort of personal trainers and weightlifting people and people in the fitness industry and people in the kind of diet culture industry who spout a lot of confusing nonsense and throw people off track and make people feel, they just make money off of people's insecurities. So it was refreshing to hear somebody to just say, just eat whole foods, eat like the Mediterranean diet, focus on plants, don't be too strict with yourself. You can enjoy, nice treats sometimes when you want to, everyone does it. And his like sentiment at the end of the podcast was enjoy food. Go and enjoy food with your family, have big dinners and big meals and sit down and enjoy that culture of eating again. And I don't know, that to me is the most sensible diet advice I've heard in a very, very long time. And it has motivated me actually to think about some of our food choices, because I think we've let a lot of processed food creep in, which is not a bad thing by any means. I'm not going to be someone who's ever going to vilify any type of food. But I guess it's out of laziness I've not been thinking about those sorts of things. That was kind of like a mindset shift for 2023 to just think a little bit more about the ingredients that I'm consuming on a day-to-day basis and thinking, is there a way that I could make this from scratch or make this a really, hearty meal in some way? Like just little things like comparing different yogurts or whatever. Not a big deal, not a big switch, but just like being mindful, I guess, and that's positive. Got tofu, got yogurt. Have I been taking things out whilst I've been talking? I don't know. Silken tofu for a smoothie, broccoli, peppers, courgette, cherry tomatoes, and Alex got himself a little sushi mat so we can make some more sushi. So yeah, that's everything. I'm gonna put this all away now.
Side by side, sweeter in all the colors. Summer love. Wholesome love. Folded on the lawn chair in all the colors. Summer love. Remember when we were getting nowhere fast, when the garden won't stop giving back honeysuckle fresh cut grass.
There's my lunch. So I put some iceberg lettuce at the bottom. It's that packet of Merchant's Italian style grains, and then a tin of chickpeas, tomatoes. I put some M&S pesto in there, a grated carrot, salt and pepper, and I think that's everything, and tomatoes. And I think there's a little bit left in the pan, so I've had maybe half, 2/3 of it, but we'll see how I go. And then I've topped it off with some Violife Greek style cheese, and this looks just perfect, just so perfect. Let's taste it. That was very rapid as well to eat, to make. So yummy. Those of you watching, girls, guys, everyone watching, 2023 is not the year that we're going to deprive ourselves. 2023 is the year that we are going to nourish ourselves, live in abundance, not limit ourselves, add food to our plate, add vegetables to our plate, enjoy the chocolate if you want the chocolate, and not spend your life worrying about food, thinking about it, obsessing about it. If you're having issues with it, talk to somebody, try and figure out what the root cause is. That is the way that we're living this year, and trying to figure out where those issues are coming from, and not letting food rule our lives, because food is to be enjoyed and it is a beautiful thing in life. So that is important. And if there's anything I want to share on this channel, and any message I want to share, is that food is to be enjoyed and loved, and it's a way of spending time with your friends and your family. It's a meditative experience, cooking and eating, and food is there to be enjoyed, and it's not worth watching people who try and tell you that you need to restrict or take things out of your diet or change your life so that you can be a different sized body, or that you can, I don't know. You don't need that. We don't need that this year. We just don't. So eat the food that you enjoy and the food that makes you feel good in abundance, and love it and soak it up and enjoy it, because I sure am. Accompany my lunch, I'm gonna have my little Hearth Yerba Mate, which I think I have a discount code for if you want to grab these. I really love them. They're like a little energy drink.
Austin makes a boo-boo.
I hate boys. I hate it.
Squishy's having a hard time this year. Aren't you? She's really knackered because I gave her a bath yesterday. Aren't you, little one? Hey, Frankie. Hey, Frankie. Loads of people thought you did a wee or a poo on our bed the other day, but you didn't. It's really funny, in the background of my video the other day, Frankie, oh look at Roxy. Frankie sat down, and because he's got a lame back foot, which is in the process of being looked at properly, he might have surgery soon on it. When he sits down, it kind of looks like he's going to the toilet, but look, maybe he'll demonstrate. See his poor back foot? He's very happy in himself. See, he's purring. But yeah, when he sits down, it kind of looks like he's going to the toilet. So the video looked like he was pooing on my bed, but he was actually just, you were actually just sitting down, weren't you, mate? He wouldn't ever. He'd poo down here, but he would never poo in a bed. I've got some yummy leftovers, so that's ready for tomorrow. That's the key tip. If you're ever making a meal, double it so that you have leftovers, so that you have kind of meal prepped without any effort. I've never really been great at meal prepping. Look how neat these are. These little cotton, look how cute. I'll put that in the fridge. Yeah, I've never really been a meal prepper because I guess I'm not organised enough. I feel like at the weekends I just want to chill out or do chores. I don't really want to meal prep, because maybe it's because I'm always cooking. But it's a good little way of doing it. And another little thing that's important to do, otherwise I wouldn't do it. And it's actually a massive mind shift for me last year, which may seem crazy to some people, I don't know. Every time I say stuff online, I have to preface it with that, and that's maybe something I should stop doing, because I suppose when I watch someone and they say something and I don't really relate to it or get it, I just go, oh, they're just different to me. But sometimes when they say stuff, I'm like, oh, that's really relatable, I really get that. So I can't always preface stuff by saying, oh, this might make sense to some of you, it might be crazy to some of you, because that's the point, isn't it? Probably most of you watching me relate to me in some way. So anyway, I had a huge mindset shift around tidying and cleaning up last year, because I find that quite difficult to stay on top of, because I'm a bit all or nothing. So I'm like, oh, I'll do that later, I'll do that the weekend. And it kind of meant that the house would get quite messy towards the end of the week, or towards the end of the day, and it would become a much bigger task. So doing it as you go is small and maybe insignificant, but it really makes a difference. So in the past, I would have just picked this and just put it here to deal with later. I even did a bit of washing up whilst my food was cooking. So it's just about multitasking, and something I do a lot to really help with it is if I am microwaving something, making a coffee, making a tea, in that time that's happening, I will do something else, and it really, really helps me get stuff done, and otherwise I wouldn't be doing them. So if I'm making a coffee, I'll quickly put the dishwasher stuff away, or I'll dry something up, or I'll tidy the table a bit. And that's made just a massive difference to my mental well-being, because I'm not stressing about it or thinking about it, because these little things get ticked off during the week rather than me leaving them. So I'm going to tidy this up now so that I don't have to do it before dinner.
I could really use some stuff like that.
Always the absolute darkest days that I book in to film. It's so dark today, I'm so sorry. I'm having one of these Mrs. Crumble's vegan chocolate macaroons, because as much as we like to enjoy our whole foods and make most of our diet, you know, lovely healthy ingredients, these yummy treats are what keep us going through the day, aren't they? Frankie agrees. And what is life without a post-lunch cup of tea and a little biscuit? I'm back in the office, and I said that I would talk to you a little bit about this book. I'm not going to go on because I did talk about it previously, but I feel like it's very relevant to this video in terms of resetting. I know that goals are New Year's resolutions. They are a bit contentious. Some people love them, some people hate them. And I would just go with that. If you love them, if you love a new year, you love a fresh start, perfect time to do this sort of thing. And if you don't love it, then probably not very good for you to do it, because I feel like there's a lot of focus on, oh, you've got to set New Year's intentions to reach your goals, but it's not for everyone. I know plenty of people in my life who do very well and are successful in their pursuits and the things that they want to do in life, but they don't like New Year's resolutions because they prefer to set themselves goals or intentions just throughout the year when they feel inspired to do so. So if you're that person, don't feel the pressure and just kind of go, you know what, I don't actually need to change anything because it's going quite well. But if you are struggling with reaching goals or having intentions or, you know, following through on things, I do recommend writing it down and having some kind of system, because it just makes massive difference to me personally. I love a new year, I love a fresh start, and this book is from Grace Beverley. I've talked about it loads, The Productivity Method. It's changed my life. It's so wonderful. I had the original version, and this is the 2023 like diary, so it's got like the dates and everything. Starts with a vision map, which is something anyone can do. Just write 2023 down in the middle, or the month, or whatever it is you're trying to achieve, and then you can break it down. This is broken down into career intentions, attitude and mindset, health, finances, relationship, personal intentions and development. So it just means that you can write everything down, just do a brain dump of absolutely everything that is in your mind that you want to achieve, and it becomes so like cathartic and therapeutic to do, because you really get on paper what you're after and you'll notice some patterns, and then you can break that down into some more specific things that you want to achieve. So I've got a list here of things I want to achieve, and then a bucket list. I I think I mentioned this in my reset video, the bucket list of things I want to do. And that's quite nice because they're quite light-hearted. I've put stuff like get an astrology reading, make my wedding scrapbook, take a cooking class, host a dinner party, go to a festival, solo travel, see a ballet, that kind of thing. And then the things that I want to achieve maybe are a bit more serious, a bit more goals, like business goals. And then here is a list of personal intentions for the year and then career intentions for the year. I haven't finished filling this out, which is also something that's kind of new to me this year, in that I'm not putting pressure on myself to fill this all out in one go on one day on January the 1st, because that I don't think is particularly productive or helpful. So I'm using the month of January to write these feelings and thoughts down. As I work, as I go through the month, I can think, what things am I noticing that I want to work on, that I want to change, that I want to achieve, so that it becomes a bit more thoughtful. And then every single day, or every single month, there's a little start to the month, personal goals, career goals, so you can focus each month, some reminders, some priorities. Worthwhile if you've got a notepad to do that, to start your month, and think, what are my goals this month, what am I focusing on, so you can reference the sort of the brain dump that you did and all of this stuff you put there. And then it's broken down, I did this in the last video so I don't want to go too much into it, but it's broken down into a week plan, which is so useful, so you can jot down what's happening each day. So for example, this week I knew I was filming this video today, so I wrote that down. Tomorrow we're filming a Veganuary video. Thursday we're doing a Tesco video, and Friday I'm in the office doing some work, having a meeting. Today I've got some editing to do. And then it's broken down into quick ticks, tasks and projects. So quick ticks are all the sort of things like, let me just find what my quick ticks were this week. Things you can do very quickly. So last week, let's get this week, because that's last week. So this week it is to text the seamstress because I want a dress altered, ring churro fabric for our curtains that we want to get made. I wanted to message my dad about going for a walk. I wanted to message my friends about my birthday, and I wanted to reply to my WhatsApps. Quick ticks, they don't have to be work related. In fact, I find that most of the time they aren't work related because most of my job is projects that take longer than under 5 minutes. But if I don't write that down, a lot of those things won't get done. I won't make those phone calls and I won't message people back. So it's quite a useful thing to do. 5 to 10 minutes, I've written book accommodation for a wedding. I had to reply to an email and I wrote the specific email and the person that I had to reply to. I had to post my video for Monday and create a thumbnail. And then the projects this week were to edit a video, do some writing, some recipe planning, a TikTok plan, edit a Veganuary TikTok and Reel, our Veganuary shoot, our Tesco shoot, finish my goals and intentions, and something to do with finance and business. Those were my main projects. And as the week goes on, you might find that new tasks, new projects pop up. But it's so great to have this written down and not in your brain, because I find when it's in my brain, I get a bit stressed, I get a bit overwhelmed. I feel like there's thousands of things to do. And when you write it down, you realise there really isn't. There's not thousands of things to do. There's a 5-day work week worth of things to do. And I know that I can fit it in. And then each day, well, actually also there's a goal for the week that I have. So my goal for this week was to wake up earlier. Here comes Alex. And then it has also 3 non-negotiable things that I'll get done. So I write down some personal things and some business things. So this week it was to read every day, to write every day, and to finish some of my intentions. And then we have a week schedule, and this is basically broken down hourly. So you can write down everything you're doing every day and when, which again, it just helps you know what you're doing and whether you can fit stuff in. And time blocking your week is so important to time management. I'm awful at time management, and I think that I can do everything when in reality I only have so many hours in the week. So if I know that I've got a shoot on Wednesday, I'm not going to be able to edit a Veganuary video and edit a TikTok and a Reel and film this and do that, which is all the things I want to do because my passionate creative mind wants to do those things. So it's very useful to know when you have time for things, and also to fit in the hobbies and the goals that you have. So I've got reading every morning, walking Roxy, and I've written down when I'm going to yoga and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it really does help. And then every single day there is a little tick list where you can see what you're doing each day. So I just reference the weekly tick list and plop it in there each day so you know what you're doing. And there's inevitably other things that pop up. And it has changed my life. If you don't have a planner and you struggle to be organised, you struggle to get things done, you find yourself getting overwhelmed, it's the way to go. I take it with me everywhere, it does not leave my side. And I've got Alex onto it now and it's really helping him as well. It means I end my day not feeling overwhelmed and I know that I've done everything on my list and I can have this sense of calm that I've done everything that I needed to do today and tomorrow is a new day. And on a Sunday I plan my week and each evening I plan my next day. And it just makes you feel less stressed. Anyway, that was 8 minutes and I said I wouldn't talk for too long, so that went really well. So now I'm going to do some work because I've been filming all day, which technically for me is work, but I actually need to do some editing. So let's get to it. Magically, it's the evening. I went to my mum's and we had a meeting about recipes because she works with me on recipe development, and me and Alex had a bit of a meeting about finance stuff, and now it's time to decide what to have for dinner. I think it's going to potentially be, I don't know, I need to look in the cupboard because it's like quite late, it's like 6:30, which I know to some people is not late, but I'm so hungry. So I'll figure it out, I'll show you what we make, and then it's time to wind down for the evening. So I'm going for a bit of a stir fry that's just gonna not have to take up much of my thought. And that is also another important thing, I think, in 2023, to not, like, I don't know, overthink food and overthink recipes, because you can throw something together that's really healthy and delicious very easily. So I'm gonna stir fry this cavolo nero with these mushrooms and tofu and then have it with rice, and I'll make like a sauce for it to cook it in, and maybe also one to drizzle on top. If you haven't already seen my what I eat in a week as a vegan, I did a lot of Green Chef recipes, and that's just before filming this video, and it kind of inspired me for some ideas for cooking. So I think I'm gonna make a little, maybe like a little tahini drizzly sauce to put on top of it all, because I always forget to do that. So I'll maybe make some coriander with tahini and lemon juice, and I also think I'm gonna cook the rice in some, oh dear, in some lemon. That serves me for using the bag instead of the jar that I filled up earlier. You know, sometimes I wish I was really short, because trying to find stuff to prop my camera on without having to fully set up a tripod are few and far between without me being cut off. I've got into my pajamas. You might see why I'm inspired by the Green Chef recipes I did last with this if you watch that video. So starting out, we've got lemon rice, which is literally just rice with some lemon zest and lemon in it. And I don't know why I haven't done that really before. Very easy little change that is delicious. Very subtle, it's not like it's gonna be overpowering because it does cook through, but makes a really nice change. And then we have our tofu, which I fried in chili, garlic, ginger, and olive oil. And then I added in the onion and mushroom, and then I added in soy sauce as well, just for some flavour. Would you be so kind, Alex, as to get the kale out of the oven? And I was going to chuck the kale just in the pan, but then I thought Alex always prefers kale when it's like roasted in the oven, because then it goes crispy. So if you're not a huge fan of kale, try that way, because it does make it taste a little bit different, a little bit more interesting, because it's crispy. You can pop it on there. No, just on top. And yeah, so it's like a crispy texture, so it's quite nice to sort of put on top. I'm gonna use my hands. Chuck that on there. And it does shrink down a lot. I think this is much more interesting than just chucking it in the pan. I suppose that's what I mean by the Green Chef recipes inspiring me, because lots of their recipes is cooking everything in different ways. And I do have a discount code. This is not a sponsored video, but if you want to know what I'm on about, the meal kits, I do have a discount, so I'll link that below. And then I've got myself the little sauce which I showed you me making. It's tahini, coriander, chili, sesame oil, soy sauce, salt and pepper, maple syrup, lemon juice, lemon zest. So loads of flavour in there, because I know that you like it when there's like some kind of,
Yeah.
you know. You want to try some? Or don't drink it, just stick your finger in.
Oh.
No. So then this can go on top. Also, because fun fact, the absorption of nutrients is really aided by fats. So if you're going to have something like kale, having fats in your diet is a good thing. So don't be afraid of adding fats to your diet. It's very healthy. So there we go. And there's a little bit left over for another dish, and I'll sprinkle some extra coriander because we love it. So there is my delicious dinner, or our delicious dinner. Let me show you properly. Super yummy and easy, and you could definitely change the kale for tender stem broccoli.
No, don't do that. Because it's not as tasty.
But look how good this is. Yum. Good evening. I'm sorry if you can hear the extractor fan. It is hair wash day tomorrow. Well, technically it wouldn't have been, but I'm shooting a video tomorrow, which, to be honest, I wish I had thought about this before now, because then I would have showered and washed my hair this evening and put heatless curls in. But I didn't think about it. Too sucked into the White Lotus, which I know everyone raved about and we never watched, and we're finally getting around to watching it, and it is the best TV show I have watched in years. Like, I just wish more shows were written like that. Great storytelling, great character development. But yeah, I didn't think about it, so now I'm going to oil my hair, which I suppose is a positive, because it means my hair is going to get a nice moisturisation on my scalp, which is a nice way to finish the day, and an important one if you don't have a solid self-care routine that is just physically taking care of your body. I really recommend it, because psychologically doing this I just think it's basic, but it just teaches you to actually care for yourself in other ways as well. And I find skincare, and hair care actually, was the thing that during the pandemic, when I started to have pretty horrendous mental health, and I ended up with like generalized anxiety disorder and health anxiety, and just lots of awful things going on in my brain. Skincare and hair care, weirdly, was the one comforting thing in my day that made me feel grounded and kept me, I don't know, just gave me something. So I've kept it up, and I try to remind myself to do it even when I start to feel good and happier, and I forget to do these kinds of self-care things. I try to remind myself how important they are. So I'm just using rosemary oil, if you're wondering what the hell I'm doing. It's a rosemary mint scalp and hair strengthening oil, and this is from Meal. I think I'm on that TikTok trend. And I know that it's important to buy a pre-made rosemary oil, because I think if you overuse rosemary it can damage your hair, which seems crazy. But you want to get one that's like pre-mixed so that it's safer. And then Briogeo sent me this scalp massager, which is something I kind of forget to do, but oh my goodness, it feels so good. I try and do this in the shower and when I use the oil, so I probably use the oil once every 5 or 6 days when I wash my hair. Just give it a good old rub to promote hair growth, to keep my scalp feeling good, because my scalp does suffer in the winter a little bit. It's very dry, and especially if it's like hair wash time, it feels good to itch your head. I feel like when I leave my hair natural and use products like gels and things, my hair gets a little bit itchy. Can you see the growth? My hair has started to grow again because I made the mistake of every time I was getting my hair dyed, I was getting it cut, which is obviously really good for the health of my hair, but it meant my hair just stayed the same length, when in reality I wanted to grow it, because when I first went to get my hair dyed, we did a kind of quite a big chop because my hair hadn't been cut in a while and it needed a refresh because the ends weren't particularly healthy. But then ever since I've been going to Sammy at Goldbird, she's been kind of teaching me about my hair and what to use, and I've been using moisturising hair masks every time I wash my hair, and not using, because sometimes I get sent products that aren't necessarily for my hair type, like shampoo and conditioners that are for damaged hair or dry hair, or well, dry hair would work, but yeah, like damaged hair or dandruff, anti-dandruff sort of things, and that can actually make your hair react badly. So like stuff for damaged hair has protein in it, and she was explaining to me that that can actually damage your hair if you don't need that treatment, whereas I need moisturising. She was like, your hair is actually a little bit dry because you've got wavy curly hair, so you need that moisturisation. So I've switched it up and it's making a big difference. I thought that because I was dyeing my hair it would damage it, but I have often Olaplex treatments when I get my hair dyed pretty much every time. So my hair is actually in really good shape, better shape since dyeing it, because I'm having the regular Olaplex treatments, and the Aveda hair dye has a lot of treatment and like goodness in it. It's not like regular hair dye. So yeah, my hair is growing and the ends of my hair are staying really healthy. So the ends of my hair, this is something I've actually done for a very long time. I just use a little bit of jojoba oil, don't need a lot, and just put that through the ends. And then I will sleep on it. I was doing my hair in a bun, but I think because I've been doing a lot of that recently, sorry for the random tangent about hair, but it's the new year, so maybe this might motivate you to do something with your hair, because I feel like for lots of us our hair is important. Makes me happy to have nice hair. I was doing a low bun, but I was noticing, I've always had this issue, that this part of my head is starting to break a bit, and here, and I think that's from pulling my hair up quite a lot, because that's the only reason why I imagine that would be happening. So I was just doing it, I've been doing it more basically. I've been putting my hair in buns more than I was before, and I think that's why that's happening. So I'm going to do a plait instead, less damaging. Really, right now? And there we have it, nice and moisturised for tomorrow. And this is something that actually doesn't need to be done the night before. You could just do it half an hour before washing your hair, or 10 minutes. So, I mean, it's better doing it than not doing it. And I need to remind myself of that, because sometimes I'm like, oh no, I don't have time to do it. But you could just do it first thing and then have a shower after the gym or whatever. So I'm gonna wash my face, get into bed, and write in my planner what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. It's going to be a very quick write in the planner because tomorrow is a shoot day, but I'll jot down when we're going to shoot things and what things we're going to shoot, and if I need to do anything before the shoot, some quick ticks, and yeah, relax and read and switch off for the night. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope your 2023 is off to a good start. Let me know what you're working on, what your intentions are, and what your reset plans are and your routines are for this year, because I'd love to hear. Make sure you're subscribed for lots more motivational content like this, because I really enjoy making this sort of content. I love wellness and mindset and all that kind of stuff, as you probably already know. So lots more to come this year, and give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video.